What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always OU related, college football related, sports related. We're going to have a good time because Oklahoma has four-peated. First time that's ever happened in the Big 12 Conference and at Texas's expense. Lots of Texas fans been on the channel all week. Lots of Texas fans been talking noise all week. Lots of Texas fans probably ain't going to have much to say today because Oklahoma fought back from a 14-6 deficit to win 39-27. Magnificent plays made by folks like Kyler Murray, of course. CeeDee Lamb, my goodness. Grant Calcaterra sealing it, but Trey Brown, with everything that Trey Brown has been through this season, for him to come up with a blitz, a sack, and a safety to get points and to really shove it in the face of all the folks saying, is this a championship defense? We know about the offense and whether or not Oklahoma should gain entry into the college football playoff if it wins the Big 12 title today. Yeah, man, that's where we're at today. And I'm so excited to talk about this. But first, we need to do the read. Today's post-game show is brought to you by thefanstop.com, which is an OU Sooners t-shirt of the month club where I got this shirt. Very happy about it. So, with Christmas just around the corner, why don't you eliminate the dreaded I don't know what they like question for that special someone? Sign up for the OU Sooners t-shirt of the month club. Start receiving a new and unique design delivered right to your front door. With free shipping and both standard and premium packages, you are sure to be a hit with the gift that keeps on giving from thefanstop.com. Use the promo code RJYoung, that's all caps, one word, no periods, to receive 10% off your first order at thefanstop.com. And man, yo. Hey, Texas, have fun with this. Have fun with this because the eyes of Oklahoma are upon you. All right? Not even Oklahoma. OU, Norman. What are you gonna do with this? What are Texas fans gonna do with this L that they just took in Jerry World? Right? Because yeah, you won in October, fine. What does that one actually mean? You keeping the golden hat? I tell you what, you can keep the golden hat as long as we keep the Big 12 title belt. How about that? Because the belt belongs to Oklahoma. 4 times. Doesn't leave Norman. We put it on display in Dallas, and then we take it back to Norman. As a Houghton fan, what are you going to do? I don't know. But we're going to get to the super chats. Oh, Dieter, what's up? What a way for me to start Hanukkah. I guess Hager will never be cutting his hair. Yeah, man, he needs to invest in a stylist or something because he's stuck with the Goldilocks look for a very long time, right? He might be able to get out of this if Texas somehow wins one, I don't know, 20, 40 years from now, but not in the next year. Hair's just going to get long. See, Dan Lundstrom, let's go, baby. Trey Brown clutch. Yes, absolutely was. Trey Brown, for me, is the MVP of the game. Landing your bet. I'll give props to OU's defense, but the refs had a mission to ruin our game. Could have been way better, closer game. Yeah, okay. Sore loser. You're going to blame the refs for 39 points? Tell me which of those points that the refs scored. How about that? Let's go with that. How many points did the refs score? Can you tell me? 0. Refs didn't score any points. Chris Boyd with 2 face masks, get a pass interference to start the game. Take it up with him. I said that. It's an omen, right? Jacob Jansen, hadn't seen you in a while. How about that interception at the end? Yeah, it's big time. Parnell Motley, guy getting torched all game, right? Getting torched all game, gets his hands on it. Trey Norwood is Johnny on the spot. Boogie was on the sideline, Anthony. Didn't play. They went with the 3-3-5 stack that I said that they should go with against Texas because it worked for Kansas. And frankly, Kansas is better at tackling folks. And lining up Caleb Kelly in the slot is not what I had in mind over LJ Humphrey. But again, W's a W, double-digit win. Let's keep it moving and say to the selection committee, yo, Big 12 title, right? I think the only thing that can keep Oklahoma out at this point, well, we'll get to that. Let's hold that one for just a second. Pippi Longstockings only got 1 tackle today. All talk, sad. Kelly is talking about Brecken Hager. Yeah, and he also had a big penalty that helped. Texas had 13 penalties for 128 yards. Think about that for a second. That's ridiculous. KJF with the $50 super chat. Wow, that's what's up. Robert Lane, Hager. New name is Rapunzel. LMAO. Hey. I like it. I like it. Yo, man, this is so much fun. This is legitimately so much fun. Man, we got a lot to talk about, but how about the start of the game, right? Where it doesn't seem like Oklahoma's offense knows that it's on planet Earth, right? Actually feels a lot like they were trading places with, I don't know, perhaps the Kansas offense that played Texas, because the offense was stalling. The offense was having a problem just getting going. You used all 3 timeouts in the first quarter, 2 in the first 10 minutes. And as I had said before, and I will say again, playing a quarter of football without your timeouts is like driving on the turnpike knowing you don't have change. You're just praying that you're through the tolls. And it ended up working for Oklahoma because the offense doesn't really need timeouts, right? Once you get on track, you just let Kyler and the boys do what they do. And you go from 14-6 to up 20-14 going into halftime, and all of a sudden Lincoln Riley looks like a genius for deferring to start the game. Won the coin toss, put the defense on the field first, and we're all going, why? Why on earth did he do that? You know? I don't understand. But it didn't matter, did it? Because Oklahoma ended up being able to get 39 total points, 19. It's basically balanced, right? You got 20 points in the first half, and then you got 19 in the second half. You know, I just, wow. That's kind of cool. I didn't expect it to work that way. I expected Oklahoma to close strong. I expected Oklahoma to score 40 in the second half and score like 10 in the first, honestly. Just keeping with the 50-point average that they'd had all season, I expected that to happen. I didn't expect Oklahoma to score 20 in the first half and then 19 in the second. But goodness me, did it ever work. Kellen Kamer with the $10 super chat. I appreciate that, fam. I just saw that. Wow. So offense didn't look like it knew what it was doing. Everybody was questioning why Trey Sermon was starting the game instead of Kennedy Brooks, and for good reason. Kennedy Brooks leads the nation in average yards per rush coming into the game at 9.6, went over 1,000 rushing today. But Trey Sermon was showing everybody exactly why he's earned the trust and respect of Jay Boulware, the running backs coach, and Lincoln Riley, head coach, offensive coordinator. The man runs hard. The man runs heavy, right? When he hits you, you feel it. But how about the defense just keeping Oklahoma in the game? Because what Texas did to start the game is what Texas did every time they were playing well in every series that they had well was Sam Ehlinger either making it happen with his feet, which I was surprised to see them go away from, or one-on-one, 50-50 balls to Colin Johnson and LJ Humphrey that I said were going to be there all day. Because when y'all see a 6'6" corner, you make sure to offer him. Because until then, what Parnell Motley was doing, what Trey Norwood was doing, what the defensive backs were doing, that's all you can ask them to do. They're giving up 6 and 7 inches to those dudes. And LJ Humphrey lining up in the slot was a mismatch to Caleb Kelly every single time. Now, they must have felt good about it. And I've said, yo, man, I like Caleb Kelly as a strong safety, and this was an opportunity to see him do that. He ain't very good. He ain't very good. Cover skills are lacking. And when you saw Ronnie Perkins get that sack, you felt good. And then you saw Ronnie Perkins drop back into coverage, and you're going, when you get the new defensive coordinator in, perhaps you'll just remove the jack linebacker as a concept. Because asking a pass rusher to drop back into coverage, as my man Bob Stoops statue said, is a lot like asking a Lamborghini to turn into a delivery truck. It's just not what it's built to do. All right? So that all was planned in the first half. And just credit to the defense. They held Texas to under 500 yards of offense, which is something they didn't do in the previous meeting. They got a turnover and scored points in a game where it felt like anybody that got a turnover or led in turnovers was going to win this game. So when CeeDee Lamb put the ball on the floor late to give Texas the ball with, down 3, everybody has to start just quaking in the boots, because it doesn't matter that you're up 3 if you're Oklahoma. You know that your defense is a sieve, right? People just run through it. But the boys, they were playing their butts off. Neville Gallimore was getting in. Amani Bledsoe was getting in. Ronnie Perkins was getting in. Kenneth Murray Jr. didn't have a great game. Deshaun White came in and looked good. Curtis Bolton Heck of a game. I don't understand how Curtis Bolton was cramping up, though, because the game was indoors and it's December. So, like, did he have like 4 cups of coffee before he started this game? Because apparently they were pounding electrolytes and fluids down his gullet. I thought Robert Barnes played well, too. Trey Norwood, again, coming on as a corner. But, yeah, Parnell Motley gets the inaugural Jordan Thomas Burnt Award given to the Oklahoma defensive backs that OU fans just can't stand watching get embarrassed. I'm also starting to believe that Oklahoma underwrites the Biletnikoff Award because you can guarantee at least one wideout is going to have a heck of a day against Oklahoma and its defensive backs. Today, that guy was Colin Johnson. And let's be clear about what Colin Johnson was doing to Oklahoma because, my goodness, there was no answer for that guy except pass interference from him or pass interference from Mott. And it's just, he's 6'6", he's 210, and he was just sunning Parnell. Just bad. Had 8 catches for 177 yards and a touchdown. That's one dude, you know? And at one point, it looked like Sam Ehlinger was going to outplay Kyler Murray. How many people had that? Ehlinger had a good day. 23 of 36, 349, 2 TDs, and that pick late. Kyler Murray, for his part, came on late, though, right? Just when you needed him to come on, honestly. 25 of 34 for 379 yards with 3 touchdowns. You will take it. Oklahoma had more first downs than Texas, 29 and 23. Oklahoma was 8 of 14 on third down, but Texas was 8 of 13, so they're basically better. Both teams converted their fourth down, but Oklahoma converting that one late to get those points. That was huge, you know, and the gamble of giving the ball to Trey Sermon as opposed to Kennedy Brooks to get those yards, and that just the yards after contact was ridiculous, you know. The thing that was embarrassing, if you're an OU fan, though, is you couldn't run the ball. You couldn't run a ball against this 5-man front that they ran with 5 great DBs. I think losing Caden Stearns on the back end for Texas was just tremendously bad, but counter with, you lost Hollywood Brown for the fourth quarter if you're Oklahoma, who's a guy that was having a really bad day. Had 5 catches on 10 targets, dropped a couple passes. You know, I was like, today is not the day to turn into stone hands, Hollywood. It's just not the day. And people are begging for CD to get in land. One of them was Jeff Bedette on Twitter, who was like, yo, just throw the ball to CD. It's fine. And he was right because CD Lamb, 6 catches, 167 yards and a TD. Huge day. Massive day. See, I'm not talking about OU and anybody else today, dog. Jacob, I hear you. But OU versus Crimson Tide, fine, whatever. Bama hadn't beat Oklahoma in 50 years. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it, if we get to it. Remember? Because if Georgia beats Bama today, they're in. Boomer, RJ looking forward and assuming a lot of OU's run game was stifled. What happened? I mean, I was just talking about it, right? So what happens is Kyler throws for 350, like he did today. And you throw the ball to CD, and you throw the ball to Basquine, and you throw the ball to Calcaterra, and you throw the ball to Hollywood, assuming he gets his foot back. You got options. Like, I hear everybody talking about the offensive line and the run game, but come on, man. You're going to get stopped at some point. Somebody's going to stymie you. And if you get turned into one-dimensional, fine. Are you moving the football? That is the question to be asked and the question to get answered. It doesn't matter if you can't run the ball if you're still moving it. Oklahoma scored 39 today. Put up 500 yards of offense. 500 in every single conference game this season. I'm not worried about the offensive line or the run game having a bad day when all they've been doing is bum rushing people for over 300 yards. I mean, let's go, man. The last game they played against West Virginia, they put up 290, and people were ho-hum about it because it came down to Kyler Murray having to do something. So let's keep our eye on the ball here. You know, you want to get mad about the run game, or do you want to get very happy about 4 straight Big 12 titles and an extremely good argument to get into the college football playoff tomorrow? Eye on the ball here, fam. Eye on the ball here. See what else got in here. So, going through the super chats. Hey, RC Gusto with the $10 super chat. I appreciate that, fam. You know, I'm looking through the chat, mostly scrolling to try to see where the Texas fans are. I don't see none. Y'all see any? Or are they running scared? We had Texas fans on the channel all week talking noise, using profanity, using epithets, right? And then you got all of this going around because for me, this is like McGregor and Mayweather lead up, right? You're going to have noise talked. And there was lots. Horns up, horns down. Sam Ehlinger scores the first points of the game, throws the horns up, no flag. So that was how serious the Big 12 Conference was about limiting all of that, which again, I just thought was garbage. That you even would bring it up because you stepped in it. And then allotting 8,000 tickets per school for a game that you knew was going to be the most intriguing of any conference championship played today or at all this season. And what'd you get? You got 83,000 people showed up to Jerry World to break a long-standing record set in 1992 by the SEC for the best attended conference championship in history. 83,000 plus were in Jerry World, right? A lot of y'all got to see it live, and that's very cool. If Tua stays out of the game, does Murray win the Heisman? No! It's Murray's Heisman anyway. Doesn't matter what Tua does. Like, I've said this repeatedly. It doesn't matter. Murray's the better player. He just plays on a team that ain't as good as Bama. And if you want to just look at history, you can see that the best player on the best team wins this pageant contest. Okay? It's got nothing to do with whether or not Kyler Murray's the better player, because we know that. You know, the things that man can do with a football in his hands are ridiculous. Texas had him dead to rights 3 times today, and he made them pay because you just can't take the right angle against a guy with that kind of speed. Jeff Bledsoe, wow, $50 SUPERCHAT, 72, Confluent. Team stepped up to the occasion. Great energy, RJ. I appreciate that. Yeah, man. Seeing Amani Bledsoe get a sack, my goodness. I did not have that on my bingo card, right? Ronnie Perkins, again, showing up being big time. I felt good when Chris Boyd got 3 fouls to start the game because that's one of the best corners in the country. And I said it's an omen. Oh, he's going to win, right? It's very early. But I felt best when Austin Seibert ricocheted in the extra point. I was like, oh, okay. Game's over. Cool. That's what's up. RC Gusto with the horns. Because horns down. Meant to put this in the first one. My mistake. Have another drink on me. Oh, I appreciate that, fam. Very cool. And I will. As a matter of fact, I might get drunk enough at the bar to start throwing darts, because that's exactly what you're supposed to do when you're drunk, is start throwing sharp objects in a very close vicinity. You know, I mean, yeah, everybody should be feeling real good if you're an OU fan. Now, if you want to bite your nails about the college football playoff, sure, but you're also a huge Bama fan today, because again, the playoff committee has done something correct. They have stuck to their rankings, right? They haven't leapfrogged teams who have similar records or should not necessarily be leapfrogged if they weren't ranked that high to begin with. And Oklahoma at 5 and Ohio State at 6 means that if Georgia loses today, Oklahoma should move up to 4, and Ohio State's first out at 5 playing in a Sugar Bowl, or Rose Bowl. I forget which one they were. If Georgia wins the game, this is Oklahoma's college football playoff. Yes, I know. Yeah, Sheldon. I was just saying that. So what else we got in here? Trying to make sure I didn't miss a super chat before we, yo, man, Texas fans are so salty that they're rooting for Georgia. Think about that for a second. Forget the conference pride, right? They don't want to see a conference, a member of the conference make it into the college football playoff because it ain't them. It's just salt. But you know what? Fill my cup with tears, Texas fans. I got nothing for you. You're 9-4, right? You lost to Maryland. You need a fourth down stop to beat Tulsa. Okay? You took an L to both Oklahoma State and West Virginia. You did, come on. You overachieved. Be happy about that. Your defense is good. It's going to be good next year, right? You get Hard G back. Run along, off to Austin, have fun at the Texas Bowl. I mean, that's where we're at right now. Let me see. I'm going to see. Oh, that was a point that I was going to make. All right, so now that Oklahoma is 12-1, and you look at Oklahoma's resume, and you look at Ohio State's resume, assuming Ohio State wins tonight against Northwestern. By the way, Pat Fitzgerald said some off-the-wall stuff. He said that Dwayne Haskins would get his Heisman vote. Now, I think that's about, bulletin board material for his kids and, basically trying to pump up Dwayne Haskins and believe he's better than he is. But keep it 100, keep it real. You ain't voting for no Dwayne Haskins to win no Heisman. It'll be Tua, Kyler, Gardner Minshew, maybe Dwayne Haskins if he gets enough votes. Will Greer's probably going to be there too, but that's as far as it gets. It's as far as it gets. But if they won, Oklahoma wins. Oklahoma beats a number 14 team, avenges its only loss, but also look at the losses. And this is what Ohio State fans hate that you bring up because it's true, right? Oklahoma lost to a top 15 Texas team on a neutral site by 3. Okay? That's the loss. Ohio State lost to Purdue by 29. Purdue, who had to battle last week to get bowl eligibility. Purdue. It's like seeing your grandmother naked. It's just going to stick around in your head forever. Can't forget it. Can't not see it. It's just there. So I don't see a good argument for Ohio State getting ahead of Oklahoma. Only argument, again, that I see is Georgia beating Bama. And, it's Bama. And if Bama is as good as everybody says that they are, they should win that game by 3 touchdowns because all I've heard is how Bama has a Big 12 offense to go around with their SEC defense now, and there's a lot of folks that believe this is Nick Saban's best Alabama football team, myself included. But if they lose to Georgia in the conference championship, you could also make a great argument that Alabama should not be in the college football playoff, right? Because why would you have lost to this team if you were so good? And why should we forgive a loss to this Georgia team that lost to LSU by 36, which is a team that Alabama blanked, right? Didn't give up a point to LSU. LSU put up 36 on Georgia. You see how the math doesn't necessarily line up if Georgia beats Bama? But that ain't what the committee's going to do. I'm just telling you what the committee's going to do. What the committee's going to do is reward Alabama for getting to their conference title game in such a way that they were housing people and making it look easy. And then reward Georgia for beating Bama. That's how it'll look. It won't be fair. It won't line up because to look at the losses is just not good, right? So let's keep it 100 there. Man, it's just, I hate the politics of the college football playoff. That's what I hate. I hate that it's a bunch of people in a room surrounded by a bunch of food who kind of care about football, but at the end of the day don't care about scoreboards. They don't care about conference titles. They don't care about winning divisions. And you're telling kids, you're telling the guys on your rosters that it doesn't matter if you went undefeated. It doesn't matter if you played in what is traditionally a powerful conference. It doesn't matter if you are a victim of your schedule. It only matters that we think from what we saw on a football field from the talent and the players that these are the teams that should be playing for a national title. But the reason that I love college football, or one reason I love college football, there are many, is that you get to settle this on a scoreboard. Okay? All the OU Texas stuff, there's a lot of folks that think that Texas should have won the Big 12 championship, but because we play a championship game, they had to do it twice. They can't. Right? But you still have to settle it on a scoreboard. Make it a 16-team playoff. That way you get every team in that has an argument that gets to say, even with a little hint, we should be in this thing. Because the teams that are getting snubbed are the teams like Ohio State and or Oklahoma and or Georgia and or Michigan, depending on how you feel about them. Right? You could even make room for the college football playoff selections love affair with LSU if you wanted to. And that's how you get all these teams. You get UCF in. You get Boise State in. You get Fresno State in. And you don't have to deal with anybody yelling about how your system is flawed and y'all are biased, because you are. You absolutely are. And I'm tired of it. It's just a bad look. And it should not be the way that college football championships are decided. And this is what speaks just horribly of college football. Setting aside for just a second that every other major sport has a 16-team playoff or more. You got 68 teams to get into March Madness. This is as far as you have come in college football as a sport to deciding a definitive national champion. We got schools that are still claiming fake national championships, unclaimed national championships. Bama being one of them. UCF did it last year. I support that. They go undefeated this year. I'll support it again because they have as much an argument as anybody else because they did not lose. And I think that's the way that we should decide who wins games and who is a champion. Did you lose at a time when you shouldn't have? At a tournament. You know, you play in the Texas high school football playoffs. You lose a game, you go home. Right? Let UCF into that playoff. Let them lose in the first round. Good. They don't have to argue about it. Neither do we. We get to point to the scoreboard. You know? There's a lot of folks that haven't seen Major League back to the minors, but since I'm a sports nut and I'm also a baseball fan, I've seen it. And that's my favorite quote of the entire movie. Scott Bakula is talking to downtown saying, I want you to, swing for the fences because that's what you do. You go downtown. And the rival manager has the quote of the movie, which is scoreboard, scoreboard, which is the way that we should decide who wins championships like we did today. 39-27. Score more points than your rival and you win. I don't get it. I don't get it. But back to the Big 12 championship game, okay? Let's just start with this. I didn't feel that the defense learned anything about Texas's offensive game plan from the first time they played Oklahoma, which you would think, or played Texas, which you would think would be a very big deal in a round-robin situation where somebody's going to have to play somebody twice for a title. You think that you'd be able to watch that tape in addition to the Kansas tape last week and say, yo, these are the things that worked well. These are the things that we got beat, stomped, drugged through the mud with. So when they couldn't stop Sam Ehlinger on those QB runs early, I was going, what? And when you got man coverage, right, with Colin Johnson, LJ Humphrey, and you're not blitzing, by the way, that's a problem. But when you sent 5, it worked. And then when we didn't see them sending 5 and 6 on blitzes, there's one play where Colin Johnson did his Colin Johnson thing, but I saw a 3-man front and 3 linebackers just standing there against 5 Texas offensive linemen and a running back. And what'd they do? Nothing. Send all 6 of those dudes if you need to, but dropping 8 only works if you can cover folks. And if you can't cover folks and or tackle, that's a problem. And Oklahoma has a tackling problem. Parnell Motley is one of Oklahoma's corners. He's got great cover skills. He has no ball skills. He cannot get his head around. And that's why he gets called for pass interference. But when his hands are kind of up in the air, he can sometimes come down with the ball. He's still Oklahoma's leader in interceptions. Think about that for a second. But nobody in their right mind who has been watching Oklahoma play football this season would say that Parnell Motley is Oklahoma's best corner. That's mind-boggling to me. But I do applaud Ruffin McNeil on this front. He chose a single scheme and played with it, okay? He put 3 linebackers on the field 90% of the game. He had 3 defensive linemen, sometimes Ronnie Perkins coming in there, right, doing what he does. 4 sometimes, but always with 3 linebackers, right? And you got defensive back, defensive back, defensive back, defensive back. 2 safeties, 2 corners. That's how you can do it. So you have dudes up front that you trust. And I think that was a really big deal in just finding some consistency. Because you're not asking the kids to overthink. You're asking Caleb Kelly to cover LJ in the slot, which we all got some issues with, but that's a lot better than going 4-2-5, 3-3-5, 4-3, 3-4. Pick a scheme and run it. And when they did that, good things happen. That's as plain and simple as it is. I don't understand. I don't. I would like to see the next defensive coordinator at Oklahoma just pick a scheme and run that. One of the things that I respect about Kansas is that they ran the same scheme against everybody that they faced all year. They went with a 3-3-5 stack and the Joe Lee Dunn system of we're going to blitz and we're going to have really cool disguises in our coverages and we're going to wrap people up in tackles. And that worked for them defensively. If they were half of the offensive team that Oklahoma is, they probably are the Texas of this year. I could see them winning 9-10 games if they had that offense, but they don't, right? So they would have had to beat a team 24-17 and got beat 24-17. Whereas with Oklahoma, it's always like it's just a matter of time. The dam is going to break. And that was one of the things that I was trying to get across to folks as, they started to freak out early on when Texas goes up 14-6 in the first half, which is we saw this offense put up 21 points on that defense in 6 minutes in crunch time. It was a matter of time. And when it happened, it happened. They were trying to force it to Hollywood Brown, wasn't working. Went to CeeDee Lamb, then you get 6 and 7. And then that opens up the rest of the playbook. But also, Lincoln Riley just kind of went with what he knows works. You know what? We can't move the ball very well. We're not running the ball very well. Why don't I just call a QB draw to Kyler? And then Kennedy Brooke goes up the middle, picks up the linebacker. That's a 12-yard gain. Play is breaking down. Kyler Murray is just bouncing back there, just directing traffic. Air traffic control, moving folks around, finding openings. This offense is amazing, and it's can't help but think there's going to be a big drop-off next year, but we'll talk about that later on. We will. Today, I just want to kind of bask in the glow of a 4th straight Big 12 title and a very potent argument to get into the playoff. That's just very cool. That's just very cool. Let's see. I'm looking for something with a question mark. What 4 teams play in the Cotton Bowl in January? There aren't going to be 4 teams in the Cotton Bowl. There are only going to be 2. And nobody knows, right? That's the thing. You would think that Alabama would probably go to the Cotton Bowl to play the 4 seed, which is Oklahoma, but they might not like it, and the selection committee might not like it because that would mean that, Oklahoma travels well to Dallas because it's down the street. Whereas the other option is Alabama and Oklahoma at the Orange Bowl in Miami, and that's a tougher gig for Oklahoma, I would say, more than Alabama. Right? So at this point, I would think that it would still be Alabama and Oklahoma in the Cotton Bowl should Alabama beat Georgia, of course, and Oklahoma gets in because that just makes the most sense from this is the South, right? And you would have both fan bases traveling well. And then you get your 2-3 matchup for Clemson and Notre Dame at the Orange Bowl. That's the way that it looks for me. Daniel, 4 ships in a row, more than Texas history, mind blown. Yeah. Texas just can't win Big 12 titles. Can't do it. It's like 2, I think, at this point. Is it 2? 2005 and 2009? Yeah, Texas. Y'all make all the money in the world. Should be able to recruit anybody in the state of Texas that you want. Just offer the kid. Beat Oklahoma out for several recruits in this 2019 cycle. Still can't beat Oklahoma. Lots of Texas fans like to say, Oklahoma's roster is filled with Texas kids. Yeah. Why is that? Perhaps it's because Oklahoma plays for titles and wins titles. What does Texas do? That's a sincere question. What is Texas football good at? The Longhorns. What are the Longhorns good at? Putting dudes in the league? Perhaps. They leave early. Malik Jefferson didn't want to stick around. Didn't want to play for this dude. Chris Boyd, he gone. Cade Stern's probably going to be gone after 3 years. What I'm saying is, if your goal is to get to the NFL, yeah, Texas, they can do that. Folks scout Texas. That's one of the things that works. But if your goal is to win rings, and this is ring season that we are in, what good argument would you make for going to Texas? We're building toward it. We're getting there. Tom Herman won more championships in his time at Houston than he has at Texas. Think about that. Think about that out loud. Just what does that mean? What are you hearing there? I don't get it there. So where are we at? Oh, we have reached the halfway mark where we need to do another read because I'm really excited about having a sponsor for the post-game show and the pregame show or pregame preview show that we did on Wednesday, fanstop.com, where I got this shirt. I like it. Feels real good against my skin. I would highly recommend it. Plus, I like giving, subscriptions as gifts. Some I give to 24/7. Some I give to Loot Crate. Gave a couple to thefanstop.com because I know I know a few OU fans, right? With Christmas just around the corner, why don't you eliminate the dreaded "I don't know what they like" question for that special someone? Sign up for the OU Sooners T-shirt of the Month Club and start receiving a new and unique design delivered right to your front door. With free shipping and both standard and premium packages, you are sure to be a hit with the gift that keeps on giving from thefanstop.com. Use the promo code RJ Young, that's my name, all caps, one word, no periods, to receive 10% off your first order. That's thefanstop.com. Use the promo code 10% off, RJ Young. One word, all caps, no periods, that's me. Go sign up for it. Get somebody that gift because they're going toward hoodies and long sleeves for the winter months, which is very cool, right? Because I buy a lot of hoodies. If you watch the channel, you can see that I take quite a bit of pride in my shirt and hoodie collection because folks are always asking me stuff like, yo, man, where'd you get that? Where'd you get that? Where'd you get that? And I don't like to say because, people take that as me endorsing somebody, and I don't. I endorse thefanstop.com. And I'm really excited to see what the hoodie looks like and what the long sleeves look like because, again, that's like $40. It's like $45. And if you're signing up for the premium package at $25 a pop, yo, man, they're going to basically reimburse you for your hoodie. I don't know. I don't know if you making out or they making out. We'll see. See what we got. Josh Rush, just shouting back at you. Appreciate that, dog. I like shouting back at me. Some salty Texas fans showed up. That's what's up. I like it. Go ahead. Bring the tears. Bring the tears. Tell me about how good Kyla Johnson was. Let that keep you warm as you go home without a trophy. Again. How long has it been since Texas won a trophy? Oh, the Texas Bowl. Yeah, that's right. Y'all won the Texas. That's right. Where the MVP of the Texas Bowl was who? Punter. Name's Michael Dixon. Real good punter. But it ain't who I would want to be, my MVP. MVP at Oklahoma plays defense back. Name's Trey Brown. But you could also make a case to say MVP plays wide receiver. Had 6 catches for 167 yards. CeeDee Lamb. Maybe it was Grant Calcaterra, who basically held off a defensive back and caught a ball with one hand to seal the game. How about that dude? Him? Or was it Kyler Murray, who had another Kyler Murray game where he threw for nearly 350 and torched that vaunted Texas defense? Yeah. Tell me, who's winning? Who won? O and U. That is us. That is not you. I shouldn't go so hard on Texas fans, but since they've been going so hard on the channel, fair's fair, dog. Because the belt's in Norman. The belt belongs to Oklahoma. It's our belt. When it says world heavyweight champ, that's us. Where's the last national title? Oh, that's right. 15 years ago? Coming up on? Oh, no, 13 years ago. That's right. So there are preteens who haven't seen Texas win a national championship. Yeah, that's right. Okay. And then there are 10-year-olds who haven't seen Texas win a conference title. Whew. What do you tell young Texas fans about winning championships? Go to Oklahoma? That's all I can come up with, man. That's all I can come up with. Look, we got Texas fans rooting for Georgia. Salt. Just sprinkle. Here you go. Here you go. Sodium intake. Right? Come on, man. You're going to get high blood pressure with all that salt. Chill. Calm down. Go root for the basketball team. I heard Shaka doing something out there. We don't really care about basketball. But you go ahead. Put a couple dudes into the first round in the last 4 years, and Trey Young and Buddy Hield, but we don't really care about basketball. Who's the last? Who's the highest pick? Longhorn? Oh, y'all gonna claim the snake? Cool. You ride with that dude. You ride with the dude that won't keep his word. That's cool. Lots of folks talking about Bama would work Oklahoma. Bama had an opportunity to work Oklahoma. It's 2013. It's called the Sugar Bowl. What happened? The worst quarterback in the last 10 years torched them for 350. Amari Cooper was on that Alabama team. Same Amari Cooper who's lighting it up at Dallas right now. Interesting fact, because, Dallas is back. They use a defense for which I think you can use at every level to stop spread, which is kind of a 4-1-6 or a 4-2-5, depending on how you look at it. And they played man press coverage, and they got two linebackers in the middle of the field in Jalen Smith and Leighton Vander Esch, who could absolutely fly. Like anybody else might call them dudes safeties, but they linebackers and their linebackers hard. It makes it real difficult to understand where Sean Lee's going to play when he gets back, because that's arguably Dallas's best linebacker. But, I digress. Let me see. What else we got in here? Texas about to run the Big 12 for years? What? Did you not watch the game? I'm sorry. Are you Encino, man? Were you? Wait. Oh, you remember DKR. That's who you think is the head coach. It ain't. It's a dude that did the funky chicken to mock a Missouri quarterback. It's that dude. It's a dude that charged the field because he lost to Mike Gundy and tried to fight Mike Gundy. It's that dude. It's the guy Zach Smith keeps saying his name out in public. Ain't saying nobody else's name in public. That's what I'm really pointing at. It's that dude. It's the dude who's talking noise everywhere he goes, and then all of a sudden has the nerve to say that we classy and y'all not. All right, man. Okay, cool. Boomer Sooner. That's where you at right now. Let me see what else we got in here. Doc, what you got? 300 plus people watching. Thumbs up. Come on, people, hit that button. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate it. If you don't subscribe to the channel, I would appreciate it if you do subscribe to the channel. Hit the thumbs up, the like button, right? Get more folks onto the channel. And by the way, this has been a really big week. So I have, for the most part, put out a couple videos a day. I usually, just do the one. But I've also had some personal stuff, so I've been able to just kind of, I have thrown myself into the channel in a way that I haven't in the past because, life. But the thumbnails, I like to think that those are getting better. When I have time to make cooler thumbnails like I did this week, I will do that. Like the one that's on this one, which I'm very proud of because it holds up, doesn't it? I got a lot of mo coming. Got a lot of mo. Like Clubber Lang, got a lot of mo. I'm excited about it. Let's see. Yo, man, no need to use the all caps in the chat. We can read. It's cool. Southern Pride, best channel on YouTube. Love it. I appreciate that, fam. Cody Sullivan. Tom Herman sucks and Texas sucks. Wow, he used $10 to get that billboard up there. I mean, there's a lot of folks that got beef with Tom Herman and for good reason. Unless you're a Texas fan, he's not really that likable a dude. Whereas you see Lincoln Riley, and that man is just respectful, oozing class, saying all the right things and all the right ventures. He got a raise this summer. He earned a raise this year. I think the only thing that if you're an OU fan that you're kind of worried about is losing Bill Bedenbaugh, perhaps. Offensive line coach who just kind of has done wonders. He had all 5 OU offensive linemen made all Big 12 squads. And Drew Samia was the offensive lineman of the year. That's all Bill Bedenbaugh. And it's 3 straight years, I think, that he's done that, where he's had all 5 of those guys make a team. That's ridiculous. Yeah, man. That's a dude that this guy we have to keep on it, man. Yeah. Let me see. What else we got in here? I is looking. Looking. Let me see. I appreciate that, Caleb. Very cool. What are we doing with... I missed that. I'm not even going to say that one out loud. Clemson on upset alert. Nah, man. I don't buy that at all. Clemson is going to beat Pitt by 4 touchdowns. Sorry. I'd like to think so, but no. Because it's not even that the offense is that great and it's real good. It's that the defense is a bunch of monsters. Anybody who's been watching college football closely this year is more terrified of Clemson's defense than Alabama's defense. Think about that. Brent Venables out there in Clemson, South Carolina doing miracles. And yet that dude wanted to leave Oklahoma. That's just it's the worst. It's just the worst. I can't with that. Corey, What happened? Oh, that dude. Okay, I got it now. Corey, that's my bad. I hit the wrong button. Or somebody hit the wrong button when they were moderating. That's my bad. Quick and dirty. I mean, Longhorns want to come here and say they stuff, but they not going to show up in the live chat because they know that we all here. It's what, over 300 y'all watching this? Yeah. They don't want to be here. It's like walking into a rival bar. You only walking in there because you want to fight, not because you expect to get along. I'm not walking into bars in Austin expecting to be welcomed. This is church. And if you walking into church and you a non-believer, yeah, we'll shake your hand, we'll be nice, but you probably walking in there to pick a fight, perhaps. It ain't walking in to be converted. That's my point. If you're a Texas fan, you ain't walking in here to be converted. Let's see, what else we got in here? Getting K9, Buzzy, Caleb on the field was brilliant. Love the 4-3. Yeah, I mean, again, I like that he picked a scheme. I mean, the lining them up in what looked to me a lot like a 3-3-5 look, right? Because having Ronnie Perkins up there next to the line, but having him stand up and kind of floating, I could see that disappear. I hate that as a concept, right? That's a 253-pound dude that you're asking to drop back 12 yards off the ball and play coverage. I don't see it. Cody Sullivan. Beautiful to see 75,000 Texas fans crying all the way back home. We run this. We've been running this from AD to QB1. We run it. Hey, cruising sooner. That's what's up. What he's referring to for you Texas fans is Adrian Peterson and Kyler Murray, which is a generational gap, and yet stays the same as Oklahoma's conference. They should just rename the conference after the Sooners, except they have the Sooner Conference in Oklahoma, and it's a different story. It's a different division of sports. But Tenacity Anderson, RJ, you're the best. And yeah, I see what you wrote there. I'm just not going to say it out loud. Appreciate that. Yeah, the David Beatty thing didn't seem to help very much, did it? I don't understand why Tom Herman thought that wasn't going to be news. He said that in his press conference. He said, I don't understand why it's news. We call other coaches all the time and be like, what'd you have on us? And this is what we have on you. It's news because you brought him into Austin. You didn't have a phone call with him and keep it to yourself. You brought the dude down there to talk to you. That is not what other coaches do. This isn't you exchanging videotapes. This is you bringing that dude into your place of business where you draw up your scheme, where you show everybody else in your facility how you're going to attack opposing teams. And what? You expected nobody to notice that y'all just played Kansas and Oklahoma? Kansas just played Oklahoma and Texas? Come on, Tom. For a dude that thinks that he's PR savvy, he certainly has shown that he is not. I watched too many of those press conferences going, who's giving him these notes? Because when he's just talking about football and he's just talking about his players, dude knows from football. Dude knows from his team. But when he starts talking about things that go on around the program, just tone deaf. And like he hasn't actually been reading the news, and probably hasn't, honestly. Because I don't know a lot of college football coaches that spend time just, scrolling Twitter. And the ones that do, I don't trust them to win football games. So, y'all got issues down there with Tommy. You got to figure it out with Magic City Tom. You got to do it. Where are we at? Geckman says, preach it. All right, that's what's up. If Georgia kills Alabama, is it enough to drop them out of the top 4? Not to the committee, but it is to me. If they beat Alabama by 1 point, that's enough to drop them out. Because as I said earlier, this is an Alabama team that blanked the same LSU team that put up 36 at a win against Georgia. There's no reason why Alabama should lose this game. There isn't. There's zero reason. Except that the committee thinks that Georgia's a good football team who happen to play another good football team, right? We know that's not the case. But we also know that this committee had an unhealthy relationship with LSU. A 2-loss LSU team was ranked in the top 10. Think about that. We know that team ain't that good. We know that at best on offense, they're suspect. At best. And then everybody watched A&M and LSU and were like, why did the committee love this team so much? And they talked themselves in the circle about how the SEC is good because they beat up on each other. No! That's not what makes good college football teams. And if you're going to ding people for losses, you have to ding Georgia for that one, which means that if they beat Bama, Bama ain't that good. That's following the logic there, man. Come on now. Let me see. Bama looks scared to death of OU right now at UGA 21-7. Oh, wow. Yeah. I've still seen Tua play too much to say that team can't come back. Again, that's the reason why I say Bama shouldn't lose this game. Tua Tagovailoa throws a deep pass to Jerry Jeudy for 75 yards. That's 6. Najee Harris takes one 80 yards from line of scrimmage. That's 6. I just see too many options for Bama to win that game. And the people watching this on replay are probably like, why are they talking about a game that's over? Because that's what the chat is. And if you scroll along with the chat, you understand. What do we got in here? Yeah, everybody wants Bama to win. That's kind of the point. Everybody wants Bama to win that ain't rooting against Oklahoma. Georgia fans are rooting hard because they want to beat Bama, but they also want to get in. So, that's the only fan base that I could see that is actively rooting for Georgia. Everybody else, right, to this day, wants Bama to do what they do because Ohio State doesn't get helped either, right? A Georgia team hurts them as much as it hurts Oklahoma, a Georgia win. So, I don't see that. Ross Crane, is there any chance that if Georgia blows out Bama, we still get in? I mean, there's a chance, but it ain't going to happen. That's what I've been getting at. Listen. Even Texas is better than LSU. No, they're not. LSU would mop Texas. LSU would just mop Texas. Because as good as Texas is on defense, LSU would just rob Sam Ehlinger in the backfield of the ball. Because I watched what Kansas did against Texas. And if Kansas can do what they did defensively to that Texas team with 2 picks and making Sam Ehlinger put the ball on the floor, that LSU team is liable to score 21 on defense. Nah, man. Texas just ain't that good. Texas just ain't that good. Let me see. Let's see. What else we got in here? Somebody talking about a Sugar Bowl. Like Oklahoma ain't won that the last 2 times they played in it. Okay. Sure. Whatever. Ohio State's not going to lose. I would like it if Ohio State lose. Ohio State ain't going to lose to Northwestern. Northwestern ain't good. Look, Northwestern got an L to Akron. Who is Akron? Who is Akron? The Big Ten in general is kind of just not very good. Michigan was holding up that Notre Dame loss like it was a real big deal and then got found out. What's Penn State? Nearly lost to Appalachian State. Got drove by Kent State. Who's good in that conference? You're hanging it all on Ohio State right now. What do you got? Nothing. Let me see. SEC paid somebody. Okay, well, that's where you want to go. All right. We're coming toward the end of this post-game show. So if you got a really good question, drop it in here. If not, we're going to wrap it up and we're going to see what they have to say about this in the selection show tomorrow. Let's see. Nah, folks in the chat are mostly just concerned with Bama and Georgia, and I get that. So that's where we will leave it then. If you like the videos and you like the stream, please like and subscribe to the channel because I upload a video every single day. It's always OU related, college football related, sports related. We have a good time. I will see you tomorrow. Deuces.